I woke up about an hour ago and watched a documentary about a crash in Tyler, Texas. This crash accident was caused by another trucking company, this time out of Miami. Well, this particular crash involved a young man driving that truck. Guess what? Foreigner. Here illegally. Obese. He claimed that he fell asleep at the wheel of a semi truck. Well, the result was 5 dead. The problem is, folks, the owners of his so called trucking company have third more violations per month than any other trucking company in the United States. And if you run the trucks then, and all their trucks, same two owners, 5 different companies. So when they accumulate so many violations that no one wants to send freight with them, they just simply change the name and move on down the road like it's nothing. Well, in Iowa, one of the other companies with the same trucks, same drivers, same owners, so basically the same company, killed 3 in Iowa. Yet they have a third more violations. And guess what they're hauling, folks? Because, yes, when they're hauling this, guess who's paying them? Look in the mirror. Look at your neighbor. These trucking companies are hauling U.S. mail linked to deaths. A third more violations. Their drivers are falsifying their logbooks and other information. When is federal DOT going to stop allowing 5 name changes linked to the same owners? The owners should get no name change. When they're out of the industry, they're out. Instead of just changing the name. Now, granted, these two are foreign nationals that own this company. I don't know if they're here illegally or illegal. But they are from Nicaragua. Same trucks, same drivers. How many violations can we allow? Um, am appalled that you would make that. I'm a family friendly channel, and you are now going to be banned. I am putting you in report to YouTube to have your account closed indefinitely. Have a good day. And sorry about that, chat. Sometimes I have to be a moderator when my moderators aren't up yet. But that gentleman has been removed indefinitely from this channel. Sorry about that. Now going back to the subject. So we have these undocumented workers. They're not undocumented, folks. When you call a illegal alien illegal or undocumented worker, you're saying a guy that breaks into a store in the middle of the night with no one else in there, but he breaks in, is just a shopper. He needs food. Call it for what it is. Black is black and white is white. Did they arrive in the United States with the proper documentation? No, they entered through the southern border or the northern border and crossed illegally. And I can tell you, I know something about the northern border because it's about an hour and a half south of here. I'm in Michigan. I've been across that border several times. I used to be an over-the-road truck driver, so I kind of know something about our subject. Federal DOT needs to stop allowing these owners just to change up their names of their companies and continue down the road. Pardon about the cough. This just needs to stop happening. This trucking company that I'm talking about this morning has caused 8 deaths. 8. 8 innocent Americans lost their lives. Well, they're so out of control, one of their drivers lost their life, folks. And then we get this illegal alien weasel in Florida that kills 5. Or 3. He took out 3 lives in Florida. Sorry about the air. When's federal DOT going to wake up and discover this problem is much larger than what they think it is? This problem goes to the trucking company owners, folks. How many Americans have to lose their lives before federal United States Department of Transportation overhauls the entire trucking company? When I say overhaul, I mean a massive overhaul. I think of any owner of any trucking company is connected to any innocent American deaths on the road, they should be barred from owning a trucking company. They should not be allowed to be in the business. And this hits not only trucking companies, but guess what? If you're a shipper or a broker and you're underneath the load that driver messes up and kills, you should get the violation as well. Where's accountability? Where's accountability? Where's the accountability? I don't know. How many Americans have to lose their lives? Now I'm going to switch up gears a little bit. I'm going to talk about this Minnesota shooting at this Catholic school. Folks, the coward that did it was named Robert. But he didn't like that because guess what? Robert was trans. He killed an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old because he refused to go get mental health. Yes, trans is a mental disease. We need to stop electing folks that endorse the trans community. We need to endorse them right into mental health wards. These people are killing Americans. It's not the guns, folks. It is not the pew-pews. These people have made terrible decisions to pick up a pew-pew and use it as their way to bring attention to themselves. The trans community has now been linked to at least 4 school shootings in the United States. And you notice where they did it. They did it in Minnesota. A liberal Democrat mayor, a socialist Democrat, and yes, Tim Wells should stop calling him a Democrat and should just call him what he is. He is a communist. And Amy Klobuchar calling for the Second Amendment to be rewritten. Folks, how about we diagnose an illness of transgender? You know what? You were either born a male or a female. There is no middle ground there. You were either born male, female. And if you think something else, you need to go see your psych doctor because you need one. Folks, the problem is like a new baby wanting a piece of candy, and you got the mother that says no. It runs to its father, and the father just wants to quiet it down, or vice versa. We'll hand them that piece of candy. Same thing's going on with the trans community. We got to stop coddling these folks and get them the help they need. Hey, Daniel, or sorry about that. It's early. I'm trying to read. Sorry about that. But these people are killing innocent children. Mr. Robert, the trans, yesterday, unalived an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old. Tell you what, how many of you in chat are willing to let your 8 or 11-year-old get shot, especially by someone that could probably be helped by a psychologist? Let that sink in. How many of you are willing to allow your 8-year-old, your 11-year-old son, daughter, nephew, niece, grandson, granddaughter to go to school and never come back? Who's accountable? Why are we allowing trans not to be classified as a mental illness, folks? You're either born one or the other. You're not both. and they endorse illegal aliens, the same people that endorse the trans community. They're going around calling undocumented workers. There's no such thing as an undocumented worker. They're here illegally. If you're illegal, you're illegal, you're illegal. We got communist governors in our system. The state that the school shooting took place in, Mr. Tim Walz, is a communist. Call black as black, white as white. Facts are facts. Can't hide the fact. Just like corrupt trucking companies. And Americans need to wake up about trucks. And guess what, Americans? Your car is also a deadly weapon. Even though cars today aren't what they used to be. I was born in the 60s, folks. My dad worked at General Motors. In the 60s, 70s, trucks were made of pure metal. Yes, car companies have started putting more and more plastic in, but still, folks, when you're going 75 miles an hour, that's still a deadly weapon. Folks, that 18-wheeler you just passed because he's so slow on the highway, that's 80,000 pounds you just passed. Think about this. 80,000 pounds. Folks, that's 40 tons. It takes 2,000 pounds is equal to 1 ton. So when you're on the highway passing that semi, 80,000 pounds, your car might weigh anywhere from 2,000 pounds to 4,000. Guess what, folks? That's nothing compared to that semi. That's 80,000. Yet you see cars cut off semis and then blame the semi truck driver because he's going so slow. American motorized public, I want you all to hear this. That truck is going slow because, A, the federal government, if you drive the highway, you see what the federal government does to trucking. Look at the speed limit sign. Cars 75, trucks 65. That's your problem, not the truck driver. The truck driver is obeying traffic law. When you cuss them out for going so slow on the highway, technically you're breaking traffic law because you don't know what the laws are. Most Americans think that truck driver is just sitting in that seat holding the steering wheel. Those truck drivers who are sitting in that seat doing the job they were trained to do have laws that they are constantly going through their mind. And not only that, they're watching for mistakes of cars on the road. There's been several cars that have connected with semi trucks because either they get back too early and that truck driver can't see them, or they get aggressive when they're passing a truck and will flip off the truck for going 65. And yes, folks, 65 is the speed limit for trucks in the United States. When you pass a semi truck on the road, and this is coming from a retired semi truck driver with 1,000,000+ miles under me, meaning I've driven quite a bit. Most accidents between car, truck isn't the truck driver's fault, folks. It's the people in the cars. The people that think, oh, I can pass and I only have to give them a couple car lengths and I can get back over. Folks, that's a death wish. It's a wrong decision. It's a dangerous decision. And guess who made it? Not the truck driver. People that drive around trucks don't give that truck or that driver the respect they deserve. I'm talking properly trained and properly vented truck drivers. I'm not talking illegal aliens from India, weasels that try to flee the United States. I'm talking properly trained and vetted U.S. truck drivers that can understand and write and read English, knows the rules of the road, and have been properly trained as a truck driver. Could you imagine what our court system would be if a legal alien was to be able to be in court and arguing a case? But they can't communicate with a judge. They can't communicate with their client. What about going to the hospital and not being able to communicate to that nurse, that doctor? Could you just imagine not being able to communicate to your doctor when you're having a heart attack? Or your family? Not being able to communicate because the doctor doesn't speak English? You wouldn't do it, folks. Why are we allowing the liberal left governors and mayors to put these illegals in trucks, folks? Why are we allowing illegal aliens in trucks? Folks, that's 80,000 pounds. Let me say it again. That is 80,000 pounds. That's tons. 40 tons of metal when you're looking at a semi-truck. And freight. 80,000 pounds is what a fully loaded semi-truck weighs in the United States. When are we going to stop allowing owners of semi-trucks simply to change their name when they get so many violations? No one will haul with them. No one will send any mail or anything with them. 80,000 pounds, folks. Are you going to put your family in front of that? Yet you see people cutting off semi-trucks every day of the week. What is the liberal left going to do? Ban semi-trucks? Because there's a legal alien that doesn't understand and cause an accident, but they're not responsible. They could try to flee back to India. I can show you who's at fault. It's the guys that are sitting in the governor's chairs in many states. Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Michigan, Illinois, the communists in Minnesota, governor's chair, Washington State, Oregon, California, the communist state of California, New Mexico, Colorado. Folks, you see a trend yet? Research what party holds all those states' governorships, and you'll find the problem. How many Americans have to lose their lives for making bad choices? Why are we allowing trucking companies simply to change the name, yet they can own the same truck, same drivers, and be out on them? They never left the road. These name changes, folks, are happening overnight. Literally, the driver will go to bed thinking he's hauling for, I don't know, let's just make up some names of trucking companies. America's Best. He might fall asleep, an employee of American Best Trucking. Wake up to USA Express. And nothing, that name is actually a name of a trucking company, but dismiss that because that just make up a, I don't know, or Speedlight Trucking. There we go. That's going to be our new name. They wake up employed under Speedlight Trucking. Guess what, folks? Those drivers are told, get a piece of cardboard, cut out real nice, and put Speedlight Trucking and these numbers on it. Get a can of white spray paint over the old name of whatever it was, and put on the new name. Before you move, by the way. Many of them are changing names because they have so many violations. Shippers won't ship with them. And some receivers won't accept goods with them. Or this trucking company might have the contract to move the load, but they put it on the load board hoping that another trucking company will bid below what they're willing to pay, so they make an extra dime, putting Americans at risk. Well, folks, I've been on a good half hour. I'm going to jump off. I want to wish you all a good day, and I'll see you later today. And y'all have a blessed day. And remember, he's in control, not us. God bless. Catch you on the next one. Be safe.